What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Mehl's Mountain Garage. This time around, I'm going to change the exhaust, the complete header and muffler. It's a one-piece assembly on my club car. I've got a 2002 DS. It's gas, obviously, needing a muffler. And they are the same for a lot of years. I don't know, like 88 or 90, way on up. I'm guessing if it's got the Kawasaki FE290 engine, you're going to be good watching this video. It'll be mostly instructional. I am going to do it on my lift. You can do it on the ground. You can do it in your driveway. So don't worry about that. Let's go. And for those who aren't familiar and are new to the channel, this is Walter. Why is it Walter? It's named after the character that Tom Hanks played in The Money Pit. Because, frankly, this is a money pit. Now, the exhaust has got, or the muffler, I should say, has got a giant hole in it. And it happened from backfiring. And here's the reason why. So what exactly happened? Well, some time ago, my kids were hauling a cart around in the yard so fast it was top heavy, they rolled it. So I cranked the governor up. And now, it'll bounce off the governor, just like that. And every time that it does it, it actually loads the exhaust up with fuel. And after you're driving it for a half hour like that, it'll backfire. And when it backfired, it blew a big ass hole in the muffler. So, what I'm going to do is put a new exhaust on it and tune the governor so the throttle, I'm going to give it so there's not enough throttle to hit the governor. And hopefully it'll never happen again. And as I stated, I'm going to use my lift. It is easier on my back and it's a bit easier to film. A couple things you're going to want to do is make sure that the cart, or at least the engine and the exhaust, is cool so you don't burn the shit out of your hands. Next thing you're going to want to do is remove the seat. Mine's a bit modified because it gets beat up, but they're quick hinges. You can see the hooks here and here. Secondly, we're going to want to pull this filler plate off. Now I got a back seat in the tray. I'm not taking all that off, but I can get to the fasteners that hold this off. And it should give me just enough room to get the exhaust out. Now, will I be able to get the exhaust out with the cart and body on like this? I don't know. We'll find out though. So what exactly was I talking about? Well, your mileage may vary if you actually use your golf cart for golfing, but we need to remove these fasteners. Gonna need Croya. Wow, with the cart on the lift, you can definitely see the hole. Sure, corrosion had something to do with it. Personally, I like to use a little bit of penetrating oil and drink a beer. This will probably stink later. I'm talking to the camera, Dad. Well, I don't know what Club Car's deal is, but the mount up here is 12 millimeter, and the exhaust nuts are 13 millimeter. Now, I used a short socket because it fits just behind the heat shield. A little tech tip. And I'm using a 3-inch extension. Is it a 3-inch extension? I don't know. That's a big 3 inches. 6-inch extension. And we'll use the 12 millimeter for up here. Holy smokes. And honestly, this is a pretty easy job. You get this bolt, don't lose it. Remember how your brackets and accelerator cable are stacked. I have a magnet so I can put my hardware in a magnet. I also have lock washers on these nuts. I'm trying to do everything left-handed so I'm not in the view of the camera. Hopefully you can see it with a little bit of light. Here's our clamp. Just a big giant worm drive clamp. Unless you disconnected the battery, which I did not, make sure you don't touch anything on the starter generator so you don't inadvertently short it out. Man, I love crude oil. These guys should send me in more cans. I use the crap out of it. With our clamp moved, see that gasket fell, so be mindful of your gasket and where it's at. Don't ground out on the battery, and holy smokes, out with the old. While this is not supposed to be a review video, well, I'm gonna just tell you guys what I think. I did pick this up off of eBay. I'll pop a link in the description below. And honestly, it looks literally exactly like the old one. It looks perfectly fine. My old one, the heat shield was all jacked up. Though the only thing I could possibly see being an issue is the buildup of paint around there. So depending on the fit of the pipe flange to the cylinder head, I may have to remove some material. But other than that, it looks like the old one. So let's go on ahead and slap it in. I am reusing the old gasket. I did put a little bit of copper anti-seize on the studs of the cylinder head, even though it'll likely eventually wear off. Make sure you don't ground out your starter generator or your doggone battery when you're installing this. You'll have to forgive me. I am doing my best to not cover the camera. And fortunately, I didn't have to take no material off, so it fit right in there. And that's good. Get your nuts started. Sinking home for those that are really crazy with torque specs. It is, so don't leak. If I think about it, or if you really care, leave me a comment down below and I'll look in my service manual and see if I can find it. I won't use it though. I can tell you right now, this is not like the old one. So we'll catch that on camera for you guys. With a little bit of light on the subject, you can see how the washer and the nut is hitting the weld on the pipe. So off it comes, and then I will take a grinder and I'll clearance it. Because if not, it'll never tighten up correctly and seal. Yes. Perfect, some quick clearance with a death wheel and a cordless grinder. Should have, oh yeah, all the clearance that we need. Well, I'm gonna use a stubby. I can get a stubby in there. Make sure your stuff is in there. Remember talking about that flange, or the tab rather. That is done. Let's pop the clamp on. With the flange nuts and washers on and the bracket on top of the cylinder head on. We'll do this clamp, big giant worm drive clamp. You might have something different. Can't guarantee it'll be the same, but that's what all of my carts have. There is a groove in that bracket, so the clamp stays centered. You don't need to kill these. It's on. Let's see if it makes noise. Heck yeah, boys and girls. It's on a lift, so I don't need maintenance mode. Oh, nice and quiet. Get a quick feel before it gets too hot. Winner. Out freaking standing. Let's put the cover on. You guys are probably like, Mel, what cover are you talking about? Well, that'd be this cover. Might have had to lift this high. Maybe not. Doesn't matter. Whatever. This body is so jacked up, I'll be lucky to get any of this shit to fit right. This can all be done with it on the ground. You do not need to be up under it. But I did want to point out, just so the audience sees how that band clamp runs around this mount that's off of the whole motor mount. This is a 2002, so the axle, transaxle, and engine and whatnot are all bolted together. They're not divorced like the early 90s style. But they also have a mount there as well. And when you're just tightening it back up, you just want to make sure that it's on them grooves and you're all squared away. So I'm gonna let it down, put the seat on. My seat's modified, but yours is gonna have holes in it. Hook it in them hooks. Job's done. Well, if you can tell, the exhaust is so much quieter. Massive improvement. Sounds like it's supposed to. Not a difficult job to do if you have all the right tools. You only require basic hand tools. You can get the pipe and a muffler anywhere online. Amazon, eBay, golf cart stores. Take your pick, whatever you can afford, what you're comfortable with buying. Thanks for checking out my video. I do have other videos of club car golf carts, lawnmowers, cars, you name it, I probably have it. Hit that like, hit the subscribe, hit that bell icon, get the notifications. Thank you so much for watching. Leave me some comments, suggestions, feedback. I answer them as best as I can. Till next time.